Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Cooking with Mrs. Anderson. What a stunning day outside. I really hope you had the opportunity to be outside as much as you possibly can to breathe in that beautiful, beautiful fresh air. Today, we're going to make another family favorite of mine. This recipe was shared with me from one of my other good friends, Mrs. Brown. She must have shared this with me probably about 12 years ago. And we still eat these as often as we possibly can. They're meatballs, everyone. We're making meatballs today. So, let me introduce to you the ingredients. Hamburger, 1 egg, couple cloves of garlic, half an onion, diced, some barbecue sauce, and our family favorite barbecue sauce is the Diana sauce, just the original. That's the one we like. We will use some breadcrumbs, some Worcestershire sauce, and oops-a-daisies, I forgot my salt and pepper. I'll be right back. Salt and pepper. That's all that we need for these meatballs. I've already turned the oven on to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm gonna bake these on the convection mode, okay? So, ready to get started? Here we go. My hands are clean. I've washed, I'm good to go. 1 pound of beef, open it up, put it in the bowl. Okay, crack your egg. Perfect, whoops. Throw in your 1/2 of a diced onion, or about 1/2 cup, whatever you choose. Now, when you're making these, you're gonna find that at times, you're gonna like a little bit more of this and a little bit more of that. Make it the way you want. We always have 2 or 3 cloves of garlic because we like garlic in my family. So pressed in there. We're going to use about 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs, okay? Now, I'm gonna put a few extra breadcrumbs in just in case I don't have enough ready, in case I need some more. Because the key to this meatball recipe is you're going to use your hands to mix it all together. So I've taken all my jewelry off, and what I don't want to do is start touching the different containers when my hands are dirty. So if I have a little bit of the breadcrumbs ready to go, that's spectacular. I'm going to add my Worcestershire sauce. I don't think I said that in part of the ingredients. Okay, you want to add about a tablespoon. In my family, we like it quite a bit. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pre-add some of the barbecue sauce into the mixture. And then you can add some salt and pepper to taste, although you're not going to taste it right now until it's done cooking. Right? A little bit of that, a little bit of salt. You're probably wondering what these are doing. This is the side dish that I always cook when I make my meatballs. I like my meatballs with a little bit of macaroni or some different type of pasta, but a cheesy pasta. To me, it tastes really, really yummy together. Okay, I'm gonna put this to the side. So, everything's in here. I'm ready to go. My hands are clean, no jewelry. I'm gonna dig in and I'm gonna mix it up as best that I can. The reason we use the breadcrumbs is it helps bind or combine everything together and doesn't make it, I guess, as liquidy or as runny. It kind of creates it. So we're creating our meat mixture right now, mixing it all up, mixing that egg in there, the barbecue sauce, the onion, the garlic, the breadcrumbs. By the looks of it, I don't need any more breadcrumbs. It looks like I should be able to make some really nice meatballs with this mixture. So I'm going to quickly wash up my hands again because I want to bring my pan over and show you how I put them on the pan. Today, Mr. Anderson and I went to the Edmonton River Valley and we walked 8.5 kilometers. It was so beautiful. Okay, my hands are washed. So you can make your meatballs and put them right on a cookie sheet, but I kind of like the fat to drip down so that my meatballs aren't as fatty. So what I always do is I put it on my, it's called the broil pan. I'm not even sure exactly what it's called, but it's got my grates on it. I've lined the bottom of the pan, oven ready, with tin foil, a little bit easier for cleanup. Now, the barbecue sauce is very sugary, so sometimes when it leaks down or drips down, it sticks the meatball to the pan. So I use my cooking spray just to help. All right, here we go. What we're going to do is make meatballs. That's the size of the meatball that I like. The other thing this recipe actually is easily to turn on to is, let's say you have some people over and you want to make sliders or hamburgers. It's super easy to turn a meatball into a patty, okay? But my family prefers them as meatballs, so we're going to keep them as meatballs. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to continue to roll and make sure that my meatballs are all approximately around the same size. What always happens for me, they always start out small, and then as I'm going, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I have to go back to the smaller ones and I add them. You can notice on my pan, I'm kind of separating them a little bit so they each have their own little space to cook in, to bake in. You don't need them crowded together. You don't want them stuck together. Once I am finished rolling all of my meatballs, what I do then is you can see I have a little container full of the barbecue sauce. And I have my brush, my kitchen brush, for lack of a better phrase. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush some of the barbecue sauce right on top of each meatball. It just makes them that much more delicious. We're going to cook our meatballs for about 20 minutes, but we're going to flip them halfway through so that I can add some barbecue sauce to the other side that didn't get barbecue sauced. So as you can tell, I'm getting pretty close. My meatballs are getting bigger as we go. So I may have to come back and add some meat mixture to some of these first ones that I've made, which is just fine. So right now I've got 12 meatballs. What I count is I have 3 rows of 4. But now I just made another one. So maybe I'm going to make 1 row of 4. Well, let's see. Maybe I can actually pull out 3 more, and then I can make 4 rows of 4. They're not going to expand, right? So they're not like cookies where all of a sudden they're going to blow up and get really, really big. So I'm just pushing them down, and yeah, I can make some big ones, some little ones, but overall I'm going to make 16 meatballs, which is 4 rows of 4. Again, before I touch my brush, I just want to wash off my hands. Okay, what I'm going to do now is top it with some of that yummy Diane's barbecue sauce. Basting brush, I think is what this is called. Maybe you guys could look it up and tell me. So again, I'm just slathering on the barbecue sauce. My oven is ready to go. I already turned it on to 350 degrees Fahrenheit on convection. So let's put this pan into the oven. In the oven it is. I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. Because after 10 minutes I'm going to bring them out, flip them over, put more barbecue sauce, and put them back in the oven for another 10 minutes. While I'm waiting, I'm going to make my noodles. I'm going to follow the instructions on the package. See you in a little bit. Hi everybody, welcome back. It's been just over 10 minutes. You can see on my stove top here, I've got my noodles cooking. So I've got to be very, very careful because I have a hot pot on the stove with boiling liquid in it. And I'm going to take out my hot pan so I can flip my meatballs and put some more barbecue sauce on the other side. So again, please be careful. All right, got my tongs. I'm gonna use them to flip all my meatballs. So I flip my meatballs first, being careful that I'm not gonna burn myself on anything, especially the hot liquid in the pan. Okay, awesome. So what I'm going to do now, as you can see, I still have my basting brush and I've got my barbecue sauce in my container, and I'm going to add barbecue sauce to each meatball. So when these go back into the oven, they go back in for another 10 minutes. If you like them a little bit more baked, you can leave them in there a little bit longer. I've cooked my meatballs anywhere up to 30 minutes and they've been super duper. Stand by, I've got to stir. Sorry, I didn't want my pot to overflow. Okie dokie. Finish off my barbecue sauce on my meatballs. I've got a little bit of sauce left, so I'm just going to top up some of the other meatballs maybe. All right, so as you can see, I'm ready to put my meatballs back in the oven. Set my timer for about 10 minutes. I'll see you when I come back to bring them out of the oven. Hi everyone, the oven beeper just went, gonna pull out our meatballs. Oh, they look delicious. So, we're having dinner tonight. Meatballs, noodles, and I also made some frozen vegetables. I hope you guys enjoy. Have a great rest of your weekend. Talk to you soon.